What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Now, I know I'm a little late on this story. I'm behind on a lot of different topics because I've had to do some equipment overhaul. It's taking a lot longer than it should have. But I'm back to covering these topics, and this was one of them. And this is a very unfortunate story of a lunatic heifer who's a traveling nurse who had been in multiple accidents before she even went to California, because she's from Texas. Her name is Nicole Linton. Okay. She was having a bad day. This heifer was having a bad day and decided, you know what? Why don't I just take myself out and other people with me? Because that's what I'm assuming she was trying to do. Because when you're driving that fast and you are targeting other vehicles, which is what it looks like. It looks like you were trying to harm yourself by harming other people. And the crazy thing about this is that I did a video about a young lady who was in her early 20s. She was also from Texas. And she was a single mother. And she decided to end herself by running into another vehicle on a highway. It wasn't enough that she wanted to take herself out. She wanted to take out another person that had nothing to do with her or her situation. So you had this deranged heifer, okay, who wasn't drunk, but because she was in her emotions in a whole nother state, she decided that she wanted to go and cause some damage. This was a female that should have never been on the road to begin with. She had been reportedly in multiple accidents in Texas, but was still allowed to have her license, which is crazy to me. But that's the double standard with a lot of men and women. You see, us as men, we're going to be held accountable for our actions. A lot of these women are not going to be held to any type of standard. This woman should have had her license taken away from her. She should never have been allowed to drive out of the state. But she was. She was allowed, even though she had already violated the road numerous times. She was still allowed to leave and go to California to cause damage. Now, I'm going to make an assumption here, and I'm going to get into the articles. Now, people don't like my assumptions, but when women do stuff like this, it's usually because they're having an emotional breakdown due to some man that they're dealing with. Maybe she knew somebody in LA. She was looking forward to seeing them and it didn't go as planned. And she decided that she just wanted to cause some destruction. Because how else do you explain this? People love to say when women do things like that, it has nothing to do with a man. It has everything to do with men. A lot of these Western women, their whole world is around men and male attention. And if something is going wrong in their personal life, it's going to bleed over into their professional life, into their social life. So I have no problem believing that this female was already in her emotions and feelings about something, and she decided to take it out on pedestrians instead of just taking it out on herself. Other people, there was, I believe, 5 people and an unborn child that lost their life because of this idiot. Okay? Because of this idiot, people lost their life. You had a young couple, a woman that was pregnant, the guy that she was dating, her young child that was 11 months old. For what? Because you're in your emotions and feelings? We have to have a conversation about the Western woman, but people don't want to have this conversation because they think that when we call out this behavior, it's shaming. How is it shaming when we're proving that something's wrong with them? Something is wrong with these heifers, man. They are on demon time. I have seen numerous stories over the last week of women on demon time. Let's get into this article from the NY Post. A woman has been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter in connection to the fiery crash outside Los Angeles that took the lives of 6 people, including a pregnant woman and her baby, and injured 8 more. The officials identified Nicole Linton, who's 37, as the woman who allegedly blew through a red light while driving a Mercedes sedan that crashed into multiple vehicles in Windsor Hills on Thursday. According to a report by Fox 11, Linton was taken into custody on suspicion of vehicular manslaughter and gross negligence on Friday, according to the California Highway Patrol. Look at the damage this heifer did. She went to a whole nother state and did all this carnage. One woman. You know the damage one ignorant, crazy, delusional heifer can do? The case has been referred to Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, who will decide whether to bring criminal charges against Linton. Well, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Investigators allege that Linton, a traveling nurse with Kaiser Permanente West Los Angeles Medical Center, had been driving over 100 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Outlet report. That's fast. That is fast. Why are you driving that fast? Linton has been hospitalized with major injuries she sustained in the wreck. Well, I showed y'all a picture. Here. That's her sitting on the curb. I don't think she sustained any major injuries. From what I see, she looked like she cut up her arm, maybe, or may have burnt her arm. I saw some bandages on it, but she wasn't injured hardly at much at all, and she's the one who caused all the carnage. The crash took the lives of Asheray Ryan and her 11-month-old son Alonzo. The 23-year-old pregnant woman Asheray Ryan and her unborn child, her 11-month-old son Alonzo Quintero, and her boyfriend Reynold Lester all passed in the collision. Lester had been driving her to a prenatal checkup at the time of the crash. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, this is an update of where things are now. This is according to The Root. It says ahead of Linton's court appearance, her bail was initially set at $9 million. However, her attorney asked for her bail to be set at $300,000. Ultimately, Linton was denied bail altogether. You are not getting out of jail after taking the lives of that many people and injuring 8 people. You're not getting out of jail. And the fact that her attorney wanted it shortened to $300,000 just shows y'all, man. These lawyers, man. Now, she probably could have posted if she got that $300,000. You can't let somebody like this out of jail. They need to sit in there to their trial. Okay, this woman caused a lot of carnage. She did a lot of damage, and she needs to stay behind bars as long as possible. You cannot allow somebody like that to be free. On Monday, a Houston nurse was charged with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter for the fiery Los Angeles crash that took the lives of 6 people, which include a pregnant woman along with her infant. The disturbing surveillance video of the crash has been widely circulated online. Nicole Linton, 37, was allegedly driving her Mercedes-Benz that raced through a red light at an intersection of Slauson and LeBera Avenue last Thursday. Linton crashed into several other cars in the Windsor Hills area. You cannot tell me that this person was running red lights thinking that she was just going to get through traffic. Because I've heard Los Angeles traffic is really bad. So her driving that fast, she was going to hit somebody. She was going to hit somebody. A total of 6 people lost their lives, including all members of a singular family. 23-year-old Asheray Ryan, the child that she was pregnant with, her partner, 24-year-old Reynold Lester, the father of her unborn child, and her son Alonzo, who was about to turn 1. In addition, 2 women lost their life in another vehicle and have yet to be identified, which is troubling, right? 6 other vehicles were also involved in the crash, including 5 people with small injuries in an SUV and another driver in a different vehicle. District Attorney George Gascon shared in a statement that he was unable to file a manslaughter charge when it involves an unborn child, that this catastrophe is devastating. That this is a case that will always be remembered for the senseless loss of so many innocent lives as they simply went about their daily routines. One thing is interesting here. They were unable to file charges on the unborn child. You know why? Do you know why the state of California? Now, I could be wrong. Maybe y'all people in California, maybe you know more than me. But to me, it looks like they weren't able to file charges in regards to the unborn child is because California supports the aborting of unborn children. So they have removed any incentive to punish people who do this type of thing. They have basically made it easy, so easy to get rid of unborn children. You can't even punish somebody that took the life of a young unborn child, because the state of California doesn't care about unborn children. They don't. This is why they so heavily support abortion. So you can't even punish her for taking the life of an unborn child. You know why? Because your state supports aborting them. That's why. You should have a law that will punish people for taking the lives of unborn children. You don't have that because you support the taking of the life of unborn children. That's what it seems like to me. Why you don't have a law that's in place for that? It is all you need to know about the state of California. Now, again, I could be wrong. Maybe y'all know why. Maybe y'all don't think it matters. But in this case, it definitely matters. And in other cases, it would matter as well. Right? Let's say a man. No, I'm not going to it. But I think I get what I'm saying. While the wreckage of this fiery crash at this intersection was removed and the traffic eventually resumed, there is a catastrophic damage to the families and friends of those who lost their life and was injured. It is not only a tremendous loss to the families, but our entire community who learned of this incredible tragedy or have watched the now viral video of the collision. And her bail is still set at $9 million. She's facing up to 90 years in prison, which I think that's less than what she should get. She should get more than that, to be honest with you. She should be behind bars forever. No parole. I mean, what this woman did was absolutely egregious. For no reason. Why? Because you were having a bad day. An entire family got wiped out because of this loser who was in her feelings and emotions, and she decided to take it out on people she didn't even know. You see, a lot of these women are entitled. This woman has gotten a slap on the wrist probably her entire life. She had been in numerous wrecks before she even came to California, and she was still allowed to not only be a traveling registered nurse, but she was also able to maintain her license. This is what you call a horrible double standard. You know, men in that position would never be you got men that lose their license for not paying child support. But she's had numerous car wrecks, and she's still not only allowed to have her license, but she's allowed to be able to leave the state of Texas to go and drive somewhere else. She didn't take a plane to California. She drove to California. And that's what's going on in this society. And this entitlement will never go away unless you start punishing these people who do the things that this heifer did. So let me know, stick in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.